Oggi sono a Bogliasco.
Today I'm in Bogliasco, a gem of Liguria, to try a rubber boat that has been built in Soverato, a gem of Calabria. Ranieri International builds 35 different models of boats. Only the largest shipyards in the world can have such a sizable variety. Well, in the past 2 years, they have decided to widen their range by adding a dozen rubber boats.
Questo è il modello più grande, lungo 9
This is the biggest model, 9 meters or 31 feet long, and for this reason, it's called Cayman 31 Sport Touring. In the Ranieri catalogue, there are rubber boats designed sport with a racing distinction, and those designed sport touring that have an additional commodity, the deckhouse. But having two 300 horsepower engines, the sport aspect is definitely not lacking.
All'uscita dal porto di Bogliasco.
Just outside Bogliasco harbour, the water is still, but a very strong mistral wind is blowing, and moving further away from the coast, it'll produce effects on the sea.
Whoa!
Whoa, I hear the propeller out of the water, 50 knots.
La postazione di comando è molto comoda.
The steering position is very comfortable since the back support is ergonomic. The steering wheel and controls are at the right height, and the foot platform allows me to find the best position for some sport sailing. What I don't like is the positioning of the indicators. They're too far away from me. I can easily read the speedometer, but not the display underneath the controls. I'd like to have them closer, here, where the radio is. When you are looking at a rubber boat or a boat in general, attention is paid not only to the aesthetics, but also to the functionality. For example, the cockpit is very versatile. It's possible to sit at the table to toast, dine or play, and if you want, it can be converted into a sunbathing surface. Not to miss anything, there's a mobile galley that can be equipped with a stove, a fridge and, why not, a grill. The fore area is very comfortable. All the family can lay here in the sun. The cushions are made of close-cell expanded PVC, a material that doesn't absorb any humidity. The upper deck moulding is whole piece, with no openings, so that a breach in the hull won't cause water to flow into the cockpit and the boat keeps floating. Also, because of the stern, there are some buoyancy reservoirs and, at midship, some other spaces filled with expanded styrofoam, designed to increase the buoyancy capability of the boat. If we also take into account the rubber tubes, we can consider it unsinkable. These building features also offer storage lockers, spick and span. The freshwater tank is built in to avoid possibility of damage. The fuel tank is installed in a space that is also built in, so that any fuel leakage remains in the space. In short, the boat has been intelligently designed and properly built. And now, let's try it out. These engines are the only ones having a volumetric compressor. Can you hear it? I like to keep them at this ratio, 2,200 revolutions per minute, because it's here, in this phase, that they are reaching their optimal torque and they start roaring. They roar to let us know how bad they are. Very bad.
Un colpo di gas e lo scafo implanata.
Just a small increase in the throttle and we're planing, mostly because the condition is achieved at very low speeds, even under 10 knots, and this clearly indicates that the weight distribution is accurate.
Ma questi fuoribordo sanno essere anche molto dolci. Se si sa dosare.
These outboard engines know how to be gentle if you know how to handle the throttle. A behaviour we should always keep in mind if we have many passengers on board. Not being able to keep an eye on everybody, better to treat everyone gently.
qui il vento comincia a farsi sentire. Le onde hanno delle creste schiumose.
Here the wind starts coming up strong. The wave peaks are breaking. It won't be easy and I'll definitely get sprayed. It's unavoidable with such strong wind.
Questo binomio gommone e motori è particolarmente azzeccato.
This duo, boat engines, is particularly successful because the hull shape of this Cayman 31 Sport Touring is gentle. It rides the waves very smoothly without hammering on them.
A 3500 giri la velocità di crociera è già di 30 nodi.
At 3,500 revs per minute, the cruising speed is already 30 knots. I increased the trim a bit because both with this wind and these waves, it is better to lift up the bow and reduce the spray on the passengers. And because by increasing the speed, the hull tends to lower its angle of attack. So an expert pilot corrects it and brings the hull back to an angle of 3 to 4 degrees.
Ora, una delle cose che dobbiamo verificare è se anche il setup è quello corretto. Perché questi motori...
Now, one of the things we have to check is if the setup is correct, because these engines can get up to 6,400 RPM, and I want to see if they can reach the limit. Meanwhile, they're at 4,800 RPM and 40 knots.
La costa ligure corre terribilmente veloce.
The Ligurian coast passes by at incredible speed. Well, it's us going so fast.
Sento, wow, sento l'elica uscire fuori.
Oh my, the propellers are out 50 knots.
50 nodi. Non ha perso la sua caratteristica fondamentale.
It didn't lose its main characteristic, smoothly riding the waves. Also, it's keeping course perfectly.
Adesso offrirò il fianco al vento.
Now I'll turn my side to the wind. Maybe I'll get soaked, but I want to understand what happens while turning. Nothing happens.
Perfetto. In questa direzione.
Perfect. In this direction, the outcome has been great. I hope the windshield will help in the other one. It's quite big.
Il tubolare si appoggia sull'acqua.
The rubber tube touches the sea in the right way. It doesn't sink excessively and keeps constant contact, just what is needed to maintain the stability of the boat.
Il sole sta calando, sono arrivato a Genova. È l'ora di andare a cena. Mi attende un buon...
The sun is setting. It's arrived in Genova. Time for dinner. A large plate of trophy al pesto is waiting for me. And regarding this test, well, this is a great rubber boat, not only for its dimensions, but also for its performances and the way it operates.
Gusta la pasta.
Pass the pasta.